In the last lecture, we started working on that reducer, but we got stuck when we wanted to retrieve the data we probably pass with the action once we dispatch it. For this, I'll add a new file into my shopping list folder, and I'll name it shoppinglist.actions.ts. Though you could, of course, also add it to the reducers file, I simply like adding a new file here to keep it clearly separated, even though that adds quite a lot of files to that whole setup. To make this a bit easier, and this is purely optional, I'll add a new subdirectory to shopping list, which I'll name store. You could also name it ngrx to indicate that here you only got files related to state management. So I'll move my actions file and my reducers file into there. That of course also means that in the reducers file, the import of the ingredient model has to be adjusted by moving up one further level. So back to the actions. I created this new file, and here I first of all want to import the action object from @ngrx store, as we did before in the reducers file. Now I again want to export a constant, which I already added here, so let me move it from the reducers file into the actions file. This constant add ingredient. Now I won't stop here though. I'll now export a class too, and I'll name this class add ingredient. Not all characters are uppercase here. That's another convention. Name your classes like this, starting with an uppercase character and beginning each new word in that overall name with an uppercase character, but keep the other characters normal. Here I will implement action as an interface because this is what it is in the end. So now I have this class, and since I implement action, I am forced to provide a read-only type property, which in this case here will be add ingredient, this constant, so this string here in the end, this one. And I need to define or provide a read-only type because that's the one thing action gave me. Remember, we hit this problem in the last lecture. Now I know that add ingredient is actually an action which shouldn't just have a type to be able to find out that it is this type of action, but also give me a payload, so some additional data I can pass with it. And I have to add this manually because not every action might require a payload, and NGRX doesn't want to force me to have one. If you do need one, like we do here, you can simply add it by adding another property to this class, which I'll name payload. And in this case, it shall be of type ingredient because that is what I want to add. Make sure to import your model here. So now I have the payload property here too, and I'm exporting this class. Now finally, I want to bundle all actions I set up in this file, and right now it's only one, but it'll become more, in one single export. A type I export, and type is just a TypeScript feature we can use. We can define our own type. In this case, it shall be a shopping list actions type. That seems like a fitting name, which in this case is only add ingredient. So I'm using the type of this class and I'm exporting it here under shopping list actions. Again, this is useful once we start adding more actions. Now with that, back to the reducer. Let's work on that.